What's up, guys? Day 64 of 75. Getting there. Just stopped and got one of my job sites rolling. Had to get some material. But want to talk about bitch voices and boss voices today. And I think it's what's holding a lot of you all back and what you're trying to do. And with the bitch voice, you've heard me talk about it a lot, especially anybody doing the 75 hard stuff. And what that bitch voice is that voice that comes in and says that you can't do it, or it's too hard, you don't have time, you're not doing things because you're losing time with your family, you're hurt, you're sore, you're tired, whatever it may be. Just any excuses that your brain's making to try to take the easy path. And you're not going to find anything at the end of that easy path except a bunch of emptiness and questions you're asking yourself, or things that you're saying to yourself, and feeling like something's missing in your life. And what's missing in your life is that daily discipline and accomplishing things, hard work, all the things that I always talk about that go hand in hand with that. You guys are looking for some external thing to provide that internal happiness or that sense of fulfillment, and it's not an external thing that's going to provide it. Believe me, I'll be the first one to tell you. There's no amount of money, there's no material things that you're going to get that's going to provide that for you. And for what I've found, it's really being able to look in the mirror and be proud of the person that I am every day, and know that I did my best. And I come up short all the time. I also set unrealistic goals a lot, and I do that intentionally because for one, I read Grant Cardone's book, 10X Rule, and if I want to make $1 million, I'm not going to set my goal at $1 million. Because realistically, if that's what I do, I'm probably going to end up making $100,000. So I'll set my goal at 10 million, and that way, when everything that I'm doing is going to be geared towards that, and then I'll have a lot better shot at making $1 million. So, but you got to get that bitch voice out of your head. You got to learn to control it, and you got to learn to really just tell it to sit down and shut the fuck up. So. That's what I was talking about the other night about this 75 hard and how it really changes you. You don't give yourself any options, and that's what a lot of people do. They give themselves way too many options on shit, and we live in a society that's full of options now and conveniences, and that's softened people up to where you've got so many different choices that you can make, and we're already pre-programmed to take the easy route and to do, whatever's going to be the most convenient for us. And, with the 75 hard, you're just eliminating all those things because you don't have a choice of whether to do it or not. It's when are you going to do it? And then it really starts, if you keep pushing things off and prioritizing other things ahead of it, it's still looming. You still have to get it done, so you're going to start piling it on, and then you're going to be miserable at nighttime when you're having to do a workout, an indoor workout, and then you got to turn around and do a 45-minute outdoor workout. I talk about 75 hard, but this stuff translates to life just the same. Tackle those hard things first, get that shit out of the way, and the rest of your day you're going to be smooth sailing. Instead of pushing everything off and tying a bunch of emotions to stuff. You like to do this stuff, you don't like to do that stuff. Just get rid of all that emotion stuff, prioritize what you need to do, and then just start checking it off the list. And then it goes back to where I talk about creating momentum. When you do that day in and day out, you generate and create this momentum to where you just become unstoppable in whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter what it is. If you stay disciplined in those daily habits and doing those things, you're going to build that confidence in yourself. You're going to generate momentum, create momentum, and then you're going to just keep on rolling with stuff. And then just becomes normal, it becomes habits. And you guys aren't sticking with stuff long enough for it to become a habit. Like the 75 Hard, I'm seeing people quit this program in less than 10 days. You haven't given it enough time to do anything, and you haven't even suffered yet at 10 days. You know, you got to get through that kinds of stuff, and that's where the mental toughness comes in, which is what the whole program is designed about. Everybody thinks it's this physical program because of the 2 workouts, and it's not. It has nothing to do with the physical transformation. That happens with it, but it's about developing mental toughness, doing the shit that you don't want to do, and that's what it takes to be successful. That is the secret, is doing the shit you don't want to do. I sit here and preach the same shit all the time, and you know, it's not some foreign language. It's not. It just takes discipline to do the things, and it takes discipline to sit down and plan out your day. But when you're doing that, the person that you're going to become at the end of it, if you can stick with it long enough, the person that you're going to become at the end of it, you can't put a price tag on that. You can't go buy that in a store. You can't read a book and get that. You can't listen to a podcast and get that. I mean, it's really hard to put into words what this program does when you stick to it 100%, and it hardwires your brain with something. And I hate seeing you guys quit this. If you see me get on you, you know, I'm gonna call you out on it, because I care, and I want to see you make the most of your life, and I know what it means to quit this program. And you know, it haunts me when I've had to quit. Like, my life was ruined. I mean, I couldn't go on normally until I complete this thing. So, you know, when you quit like that, and you think that you're quitting and you're going to do it at a better time, a more opportune time, and one of my buddies on here had quit and was going to restart it in the fall. Everybody, and he's not the only one. I've had several people say the same thing. It's a common theme, and I've tried to tell myself the same thing. Like, I'm too busy right now, so I'm gonna do this at a more convenient time. And there's not a more convenient time for it. You're always gonna have shit going on. Your family is always gonna be there. You're always gonna have work, and you have to learn to manage those things. It's the time management skills. That is what the program's about. I think you guys are missing the entire thing. Like, that is the program, is learning to do those things, and learning to manage your time, and learning to do the shit you don't want to do. I mean, if it's doing your outdoor workout at 2 or 3 in the morning, I've done it. And, you know, it's not ideal, but what it made me do was quit wasting time during the day, because I didn't want to, because there's always time that's wasted. And you develop that efficiency with that, because you're going to cut out all the bullshit, because you don't want to be doing your shit at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So you guys have to really understand what this program's about. And that's why it's designed the way that it's designed, is to put you in positions to where you want to make excuses and quit, and then not to quit, and to find ways to get through it. So, and like I said, this all translates to everyday life, the same exact shit. And there's never going to be a perfect time to start your business, and there's never going to be a perfect time, you know, for that job promotion to start doing the things that it takes to get that next position. Like, now is the time. And I mean, because you just got to get in there and you got to do it, and then you just make it happen. And if you can't get in there and do that, you don't need to be running a business, because that's what this shit is. It's constant scrambling and getting in, fixing things, solving problems, dealing with customer service. It's just nonstop of that. So if you can't even get past the starting blocks of thinking that you have to have this perfect scenario to start something, you don't belong out here with the entrepreneurs, because it's not a place for you. You're never going to make it. But I just had some time here, had to get this material. This got a little bit longer than what I wanted it to, which they generally do. I know most of you don't watch them to the end anyway, but that's all I got today, y'all. Stay hard.